So I'm Jeff. What's
Scott,
your-
by the way.
Scott?
Scott.
Okay, so yeah, Scott, what do you think happens after this life? What's your initial reaction to this question?
After this life, I mean, I don't know. I really don't know, honestly. It's a lot of cool, interesting, like, theories or ideas out there, you know, like rebirth seems kind of cool. Does it happen? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's tough.
And that's what makes the question interesting.
It is, because you can't say it's a right or wrong answer, you know?
Yeah.
It could be anything at this point. We'll never know.
So have you ever had strong beliefs about it? Like, did you grow up with a church background? Or
I did grow up with a church background. My family's very religious. Me, personally, not so much. I take more of an agnostic approach.
Uh-huh.
You know, open to the idea of it, but just not convinced per se.
Yeah. What may I ask what sort of church or
We were
religion?
Catholic. My family was Catholic.
Okay. Would you say you believe in God or a higher power of some sort?
Personally, no. Do I think there could be something out there? Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. It's just hard to, it's hard to prove.
I guess when I say a God, I mean like a general, like a creator, as opposed to everything else is the creation, you know?
I mean, maybe. I believe there could be something out there that might have created everything, right? Like maybe the Big Bang was created by a higher power in the end, but who knows?
What would you say is your biggest reason for being agnostic, as far as like this, like?
Well, because I don't personally believe in religion. Doesn't mean it's not good for other people, right? Some people really turn to religion to get them through hard times in life, to get them through whatever they're going through.
Yeah.
And it doesn't bother me, right? Just because I don't believe in it doesn't mean it's hurting anybody.
Right.
So why should I tell you you're wrong?
Yeah.
It doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
You know, I don't get anything out of it. They're not getting anything out of it.
Yeah. So how are you different from atheists? Like, would you say?
Well, I'm open to the idea, right? I'm open to the idea of religion, that there is something out there, right? But I look for the fact in it, right? If you can scientifically prove it to me,
okay.
I would absolutely be on board, right? But because we don't have that answer, it's not really for me. But do I think it could be out there? Absolutely. Will I find it in my lifetime? I don't know.
Now, here's an interesting take on it. I believe that if God could be proven, like if I take this ball and I say, okay, God, if you're real, make it so it doesn't drop, you know, or something, you know, just some kind of experiment, you know. Really, so science teaches like that there's patterns and that there's order in the universe, to the point where if you run the same experiment many times to find something that's true, it's gonna happen the same way every time if all the other variables are the same, right? So if God could actually be put in that category where he has to act the same way every time, then God would be more like something like electricity, where you know, like we know how electricity is more powerful than us, higher power, right? But yet we can control it because we know its rules. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so we can kind of rule over electricity. So God, by definition, would be someone we can't rule over, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I actually believe if someone could prove God to me, I would say, you know what, that's not God. Because it'd be kind of like, if you're familiar with Aladdin and the genie.
A little bit, a little
like, the genie always has to come out of the bottle when Aladdin rubs the bottle, you know? It's like it is not served, it's a higher power supposedly than Aladdin, but it serves him. And so God would not be like a genie that we can rub the bottle and he has to serve us. So I don't know if like your experience with religion, maybe like go to the Catholic Church, do certain things, you know, then God has to act in a certain way. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think, at least the way my family looks at it, right? Like, you go and worship the Lord, right? But you're not expecting to get something in return, right? It's faith.
Ideally,
it's the idea to just believe in something that's bigger than you.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Yeah. So I didn't grow up Catholic. I grew up Lutheran, but now I'm, you know, interdenominational church or non-denominational. But anyway, so there is that idea that, oh, don't question it, don't ask anything, just be faithful, and there will be rewards, in the end or whatever. And don't expect rewards, because that takes away from your reward. In other words, you're doing it for like selfish motives, right?
Yeah.
So I would take the approach that God has made himself known so we can know kind of like the attributes of God through the Bible and through history, through different acts through history, and that based on these principles or characteristics of God, we can actually have a relationship with God. But could I control God? No. I could never put him in a box or in a category and say you've got to act a certain way. It's, he's God, I'm not. That sort of thing. So I want to just encourage you with maybe just to think, if there is a God, that if there is some kind of a thing that exists that made us, that he would. It made us for a reason, and he would reveal himself to us rather than us having to figure him out and put him in a category and define him and make him act a certain way, if that makes sense.
That makes sense.
So, yeah. So, I like to get people thinking about things, and so like to be agnostic and to say, well, I just don't think God exists, but I'm open. Maybe be open to that idea that the Bible could actually be God's revelation of himself, and what can we learn from it, and could we actually have a relationship with our Creator? So fair enough?
Yeah, fair enough.
Okay, and I'll give you my information as far as like where you can see this.
Sure, yeah, let's check it out.
So